Ladies and gentlemen,
What
it,
the actual fuck?
it happened again, didn't it?
It's been chipnold.
Welcome to Doctor Who Reviews, reviewing Untitled Chapter 2.0. I was so hopeful.
That was your first mistake.
The past 4 weeks have been pretty good, and I was so hopeful.
I mean, at the least he answered some stuff. It was stupid answers, but it was answered.
That's not a good thing.
He certainly did not pass the buck on to the final part, and he answered the questions and hooks that he brought up. We're gonna delve into how that went.
Yes, we are.
He lie of the land did it.
So,
I don't know. Well,
those words do not pass your lips again. So,
I mean,
He lie of the land did it.
I would have to remember what my objections to lie of the land were to see if he truly lied the land did it.
if we bring that up, I will explode live on camera, so I'm just going to move on.
The main objection is that it started out really good, and then it went to shit.
Okay, so he didn't stick to land.
The main objection is that it treated its audience like fools.
Yeah.
Stephen King'd it.
He Stephen King'd it. Okay, yeah, well.
Okay, well, to talk about Stephen Kinging it, I'm joined by my two usual co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, it's Freezing Inferno.
That's the mood.
And to my virtual right, she has the eye of the tiger. She should really get that back to that poor big cat one day. It's Cat. I mean, yeah, also a mood. Get the red noses out, boys. We're going to the circus.
Rain, would you mind telling the folks at home what you said to me on Twitter after reading my first impressions on this episode, which you can find down below in the
I said, and I stand by this, that after reading your words, I could feel the rage pulsating through my screen.
Maybe that'll come through. I don't know. Maybe that'll come through.
That's certainly how it came across to me, anyway. But maybe they won't see it like that. I'll put the link in the description.
Well, we've got a lot to deal with before we deal with the living.
Yeah, just a bit. Just a bit. So, Chapter 5, Survivors of the Flux. Some people are probably wishing they didn't survive the Flux. And they didn't have to watch this episode.
Survivors of the Flux, more like survivors of the goddamn Chibnall lore bombs.
Got him? Yeah, as you can probably tell by our general demeanour.
And you get a backstory.
As you can probably tell by our general demeanour, we did not like this at all.
Oh, no, this is.
Well, I have mixed feelings about it.
I enjoyed parts of it.
I don't have mixed feelings at all. This was shit.
The stupid comedy parts I enjoyed. Salad Man has been replaced, but you've got that to look forward to.
I enjoyed it up to the end. Then it was like
fair.
That's
so
fair.
Much like Once Upon a Time, we have a whole bunch of disconnected subplots. So we're going to cover it again like we did for Once Upon a Time. And we've agreed to start at 1904.
The best time of the episode.
Arguably, yeah. Because you've got Yaz and Dan and Professor Jericho, who've been stranded in the past for the past 3 years. And they don't know if they're ever going to get back. I mean, Dan so much as says that to Yaz.
And they go on an adventure.
They go on several adventures. Firstly, they rip off Lara Croft.
I was thinking more Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's Indiana Jones, I suppose. But I did get some amusement out of the joke of them swapping on the rope.
Cute.
And Dad just face planted twice.
That was some really good slapstick.
At the second time, Yas just goes, "Hi, Dan." I'm also glad they brought Jericho back because he's a good character.
Yeah. He's a fun third foil for them.
So the first adventure, as you say, is the Indiana Jones tomb, and they're trying to find a piece of pottery for reasons that will not become clear at all.
Yeah, that's one of the problems with this whole segment that's going on, is the fact that they don't really explain what they're doing. They attempt to with a hologram of the Doctor later, but even then,
That's a
it's
cute
just like,
scene.
what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing is right. So
Ironically, they don't explain this when the part of the episode that is objectionable is over-explained.
that's the first little Yaz, Dan, and Jericho scene in the tomb. They get away from that. They go onto a boat. Sorry, a ship, because a boat goes underneath the water.
Hold on. First they go to this old woman who starts trying to translate the pot that they
I
found.
thought that was afterwards.
Because,
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
No, it's before that. But apparently, if they manage to get all of the symbols right, it'll tell them the day that the world ends. Why they need that, I have no idea. But as they're there, all of a sudden they smell something and they hear this weird hissing sound. And so they get up and they look around, and Yaz goes to the next room and finds out that someone planted a stick of dynamite right next to them. So someone is trying to kill them in order to stop them from doing whatever the hell it is they're doing, because it's still not explained.
And it isn't explained even at the end. We know who's trying to stop them, but we don't know why.
Well, yes. We do eventually see the man with the snake tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, that's the next scene on board the ship, not the boat, because the boat travels underneath the water. Thank you, QI.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yaz saves everyone by covering the bomb with a rug.
Well, they also get the hell out of there, because the rug's not going to really help. It's just going to muffle the explosion, apparently.
Well, they get the old woman out of there. They get themselves out of there. The bomb fails to kill them, basically.
And they get half the date, which is December 5th. And that's it.
Which is actually the date that the next episode is airing, by the way.
Oh, goody! So
I
you
believe.
managed to get that continuity right, huh?
I believe that December the 5th is the date of the next episode.
Let's just click on my calendar. Yep.
Yeah.
It's meta, therefore it must be good, right? No.
Hey, look at that. Oh, wow. Well.
It's meta, therefore it must be Chibnall.
And then they are, as you say, there's a knock at the door of their cabin, and there's only supposed to be two in the cabin, so Dennis goes underneath the bed. He has always been going underneath the bed whenever someone's turned up. Which I suppose is some commentary of, like, I don't know, lower class?
I don't know.
The Liverpudlian has to go as the stowaway. There's a rather funny line when the waiter comes in and he says, 1 lump or 2, 1 please. He smacks him on the head with the tray.
It's an assassin! Oh no!
I mean, honestly, I will say I kind of like this scene, because you at first you just think it's a waiter, but then you notice on his cart are 3 cups. And nobody's supposed to know that Dan is there, so you immediately know something is up from that.
Yeah, that's a nice little bit of foreshadowing.
I didn't notice that, but that is nice. Yeah. I'll give it that.
So, good job, Chibnall. Will give you exactly 1 point. You'll still negative 999,999, but still, you get a point.
You know, it's
working on the deficit one point at a time. A bit like my student debt, but that's another story for another time.
Yeah.
So this
but
guy
at the very least, the guy comes on. He tries to knock Jericho out. And then he starts attacking, Yaz and everybody else. They manage to tackle him down to the floor. Unfortunately, he has a poison pill in his tooth.
Yeah. He does say one encrypted line of, "You can't fight the future." And then he kills himself. Dan gets a great line where he comes up from the bed to help Yaz and says, "Stop moving or I'll bite your toes." What?
So, hey, Kat, was it last week or the week before that you mentioned Hydra in comparison to Flux?
Last week.
Yeah.
Well, would you look at this?
Kat, stop being right.
We got a shady organization and trying to send assassins.
I mean, we'll get to
taking
Mike
Flux
stop
away.
being right in a...
Just you wait until we start talking about the division.
I was going to
I
say...
was fucking right.
I was going to say, we'll get to Mike stop being right when we get to that. But... Because between you two, you kind of nailed it.
Yeah.
I don't
so
blame
happy.
you two. I don't blame you two. I blame Chibnall.
They
Heavily.
dump
yes.
the waiter overboard. With Jericho and Dan are appalled by this, but Yaz, who is a police officer or was a police officer, don't forget, is the one that suggests
Ash
it.
about it. Oh yeah, throw the guy over. Who's fucking shit?
Yeah, and he does have the snake tattoo, which is important later on. I believe the next scene in 1904 is the hologram.
Sorry.
I think because they were still on the boat.
I think they throw him overboard, and then it's the hologram scene.
Mm-hmm.
There might be like a scene like this is what we're going to do next.
I remember now. They do the hologram scene and then they come in from throwing the guy overboard.
Yeah, you're right. So the hologram scene is actually kind of sweet. It parallels, or dare I even say it mirrors, the scene...
I'm not giving this shit a Doctor Who mirror.
No. But I'll just use it as a normal word then. It mirrors that scene from part 3, from chapter 3.
With Belle and Vinder, yeah.
Where Belle's got the Vinder hologram and she doesn't want to wear it out.
And also where Belle leaves the hologram for him in that end credit scene.
Yes, true. But it's an adapted hologram, and the Doctor leaves gaps for her to say things to her. This is clearly a nod to the Phasman shippers.
Clearly.
This is clearly a not to blink, but okay.
That too.
Oh boy, remember 2007 when the show was good?
Stop that.
I will when Chibnall does.
I mean, you'll be doing it forever then. Is that what you want to do? Thank you.
for a year. For a year.
But the hologram attempts to give like Yaz a reason for what she's doing, and now I have to bring up a plot hole.
Go on.
I'll let you have this, but you know how I feel about plot holes. That's not my objection to the story, but go.
Well, the village that they were stranded in 1901 was supposed to be cut off from the rest of the universe, correct?
Yeah.
Yet they can travel to Colombia, Nepal. Maybe when the Angels finished with the Doctor, they put it back.
I guess. Say it.
He explained everything else. Why he didn't explain that with just a line of dialogue is beyond me.
God knows.
He over-explained some things, in fact.
No shit, he over-explained some things. God damn it.
I'm really trying to put a positive spin on this, and I can't. I'm sorry.
I'm not even
You were right. That's the important part. You were right.
Who was right?
Stay calm. Stay calm, cat.
Herself.
Stay calm. Yes, myself. Because I was right.
You're taking comfort in the fact that you called it.
Yes.
Even though you calling it meant that a lot of people suffered.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how it usually is for me.
That sounds about right for 2021. So...
That sounds about right for me.
I wasn't going to say that. But,
I will.
I mean,
Also, can I just say, the waiter that we were talking about, his actor's name is Guy List.
Yeah.
That's an amazing name.
That is a pretty good name, yeah. And then we get to my favourite 1904 scene. I shouldn't find this funny. But the whole non sequitur of it and the whole randomness of it, this was the best part of the episode for me. Possibly, other than Carvanista. So, their grand adventure takes them to the Tibetan Mountains in Nepal. And they've climbed it for 3 days, I think they say. And Jericho's like,
I love this scene.
when we get to who we're going to meet, let me do the talking. So they go, there's this hermit in a turban, just sitting there. And Jericho, and I'm paraphrasing, says, oh, good sir, we've travelled here for 3 days to seek your wisdom. And he's like being very genuflecting and using like long words. And then The hermit opens his eyes and goes, "What took you so long?" I'm sorry, what? What took you so long? And then the moment that launches 1,000 memes. Ah, I'm teasing you.
Oh god.
Now I get,
It's so funny.
I get this is an Orientalist trope. Okay,
This is.
I understand that. This is basically that bit from The Simpsons where Apu has to climb the mountain.
Are you really the head of the Quickie Mart?
Yes, thank you. Come again.
Yeah.
So, but the actor is having so much fun with it. Clearly,
Oh yes.
and we've done it. We found the successor to Saladman for the best side character.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. That's going a little far for me, but I'll let you have it.
Give this man his own spin-off immediately. But he's great. He asks for the lights Conan Doyle and says, "I'm teasing you again." But the whole point of this hermit scene, other than being a bit of comedy, is to bring another of the characters into the story.
Oh.
He says, "I have 3 words for you. Fetch your dog." What? That's it. Fetch your dog.
You had me up until there, Chibnall.
Yeah,
You
this is
kind
where
of
it starts to go
ruined the
downhill
character
for
a
some
little bit.
people.
This is this doesn't make a lot of sense. But I mean, I know I said plot holes, but this is just it's a plot contrivance, you know,
It does lead to a great line from Carvanista later on, though.
which also kind of makes you question what the fuck the point of this was. But okay.
I think it was to do the scene in a COVID-safe environment. You never see the hermit with the 3 main actors. You never see Carvanista with the 3 main actors.
Yeah.
I
But
think it should be
also-
COVID safe.
Okay, but I mean, you can be COVID safe and still, you know, have a plot that coheres. Because well, we should talk about what happens because after this message, they go from Nepal to China, and
Don't
then
know why.
and then right next to the Great Wall of China, they cut down some bamboo to clear out a little clearing, and they get a bunch of white paint, and they write a message for Carvanista on the ground so that Carvanista can see it from space because you can see the Great Wall of China from space.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit because you can't.
No, you can't.
Which is bullshit. And then the very next scene, Carvanista gets the message and basically says, "I don't have time travel. Humans are fucking dumb."
It's good.
That was a little funny.
It's
It was
funny,
very
but also
funny.
it's like, what? Then what? Why the fuck did we go to China to paint the thing?
I
What?
also would like to contradict something. That was not a little clearing. They put out a whole fucking paragraph in that bamboo forest.
Yeah.
Okay, they did a lot of. But I mean, it's like, I guess it's funny joke, haha. But also
Yes,
like,
Dan and Jericho started climate change. Who knew?
oh fuck! Don't get on that shit. No.
No. Let me have my
Here's
fun.
my issue.
Go on.
Go on.
How the fuck did they do this? Where the fuck did it go?
Also, my issue
you
is
can't just do that, Chibnall.
it's ripping off the Pandorica opens.
Oh God, you're right.
Yeah, but River does it in a much better way.
Yeah.
Well, at least we know he watched Moffat era.
She
Well, we
vandalizes.
already knew that
that
from last week.
from last week, but she vandalizes the oldest cliff in the universe
He watched more Moffat era then.
to send a message, "Hello, sweetie."
At least that alerted them to River's presence.
Yeah,
So
and it's also a
this
very
goes
River thing to
nowhere.
do. This does not sit with Yaz and Dan. Well, Dan doesn't have a character other than it confused Scouse noises.
Like you could cut straight from the hologram scene. You could, and I'm sorry, you could cut the hermit guy out and the Great Wall of China scene, and just have the next scene happen on the boat, and the story would not change. It's just added fluff and jokes, I guess.
But that would
also,
require us to cut the hermit, which we can't do.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say you to check, but you could do that.
You could, but I'm glad they didn't.
It's writers got to eat.
You know what they could have done is they could have had the hermit say something other than "fetch your dog," because obviously Cavanista, while amazing character, is useless. The whole thing.
They could have said, "Oh, and I'm just teasing for future things. Go to Liverpool.
And then we, yeah, and then we don't get much from this trio for a bit, and then they're back on the ship. Sorry, I'm breaking my own rules. They're back on the ship.
And who should be on the ship randomly showing up but
Joseph Williamson.
This guy again.
We finally get some kind of clarification as to what the hell was going on with this guy.
No, we fucking don't.
We did.
Well, we got a little more than usual, I would say, but not clarification. But also, like, in retrospect, what's going on here? It makes at least one of his subsequent appearances pointless, and just there to remind you, hey, this guy exists.
They also go to the Williamson Tunnels in 1904, at which point Williamson was already dead, and yet here he is wandering around.
And he leads them down the tunnels, and there's Time Tunnel.
There's a cute bit where he hugs Yaz.
Yeah, because he's so excited that finally there's someone there who knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. I quite like that.
It's just too bad what he's talking about is absolute bullshit.
So he's got 12 doors, 12 tunnels. And they all lead to different places, and he's very helpfully marked them with little notes. Like watery ocean, endless firebolts. One door just says death. Endless rays of death. You don't want to go in there. What's the bet someone goes in there in chapter 6?
It's Daleks.
Well,
you think that's how they come into the plot?
Considering what comes out of the doors later, who knows?
Oh, rays of death. Yeah, it could be the Daleks.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of, again, with Moffat, the deadliest fire in the universe.
But somebody is going through that door.
Oh,
yeah.
It's Chekhov's gun there. But then again, it's Chibnall, so who the fuck knows if he knows how to pull Chekhov's gun off the mantle. It's like, I don't really want to load the gun.
But we hear that the place where the tunnels go to have changed recently.
Because of the Flux?
Yeah, that's the Flux messing things up.
Which begs the question, how are there a bunch of tunnels going through time in the first place down underneath Liverpool?
And that's the last we see of our trio and Williamson until the finale, which I wanted to cover in all in one go, if that's okay.
Oh, that's 1904. Probably the best subplot of the episode.
Yeah.
Considering it has jokes and things happen in it that make sense.
Now for our secondary villain.
Oh, God.
Hang on, let me just... There you go, you can have that up.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. A meme for everything.
I mean, for everything.
Our secondary villain, the Grand Serpent, is back.
Yay!
Now, great
and
performance.
Then you realize where he is and what he's trying to do. And it's
great performance by Craig Parkinson.
Oh yes, he's fantastic.
He just radiates menace off the screen, but...
Where's my alcohol? I'm going to...
Yeah. He turns up in 1958. England, 1958. And he's masquerading as somebody called Prentice.
Right? Did you look at the credits? Is that Prentice with an I or with two E?
Ooh.
An I.
Okay, because if it was with two E's, Prentice would be a fucking anagram for serpent.
Oh my god.
So it sounds like that almost is what they were going for. Maybe. When I realized halfway through the episode, I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Maybe it could be that.
Maybe?
Yeah, if you substitute one of the E's for an I, you get serpent. Oh my god.
You substitute one of the I's for an E.
Yeah, sorry.
It also kind of looks like if you smash together praying mantis together, but
yeah,
that
could be that as well. But
anyway, what is the Grand Serpent doing in 1958 England?
He's shooting game.
Well, I meant a little more broadly as his master plan.
Yeah,
well, you know what? He just so happens to have stumbled upon somebody who just so happens to be involved with this new project that's a sort of military-based that deals with, a couple of different extraterrestrial things. You probably haven't heard of it. It's called fucking Unit.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we've got the new villain deliberately getting involved with the formation of UNIT.
I'm gonna level with you. All this shit sounds like something the Master would have done.
Yeah.
Oh my god, if he turns
this-
out to be the fucking Master,
He's
I'm
not
going
the
to
Master.
shit so many bricks.
He's not the Master.
Why would they recast Sacha Dhawan like that?
Because it's Chibnall.
I mean, they could, but I don't think they
Okay.
have.
Chibnall does not like good things.
I think the Grand Serpent is an original villain,
Yeah.
like Swarm and Azure.
Well, so he's fucking around with the creation of UNIT, and the end game for this is, well, it's far more mundane than such a grandiose master plan, and really, the excuse for fucking around with UNIT is, of course, to mess with Doctor Who lore and continuity.
He wants to take over the world.
Of course.
But no. See,
I will say, at the very least, Frez, you kind of get your wish. It's just, unfortunately, it's not the Doctor that takes down his empire, it's the Flux.
oh
Yeah,
God in heaven, no, Jesus.
that's even
Well-
worse. It's not even a character; it's an inanimate force.
Well,
Hang
yeah,
on,
that.
hang on, Frez. I got you.
Thank you. But I mean, it's like Chibnall will do fucking anything to keep the Doctor from stopping someone, won't he?
Yeah,
But also, this whole thing, this entire subplot that pops up, 3 or 4 times over the episode, spanning from 1958 to present day 2021, it feels, because the end result is pretty mundane and could have been achieved a handful of other ways that didn't involve fucking with unit continuity, it feels like, God help me if I have to explain this to you, it feels like Chris Chibnall is taking a stance on explaining unit dating.
yes.
Do I need to talk about unit dating on here?
I'd rather you didn't.
I mean, okay. Well, I'll give the short version. There's 2 stories: the Web of Fear from the Second Doctor era and Modern Undead from the Fifth Doctor era, and the dating completely contradicts the founding of UNIT. They both can't be canon, and yet they both are canon. So fandom is bitching. Well, you can explain unit dating like this, or this, or this. And you've also got Pyramid of Mars goes into this as well because of one fucking line about 1980.
Yeah.
But you know, it's this and this is a long-standing fandom bitching thing. A question that nobody fucking asked, but people are asking anyway. No real serious concern. Kind of like, hey, what's the deal with the Morbius doctors? But
Frez, if I may point you to the SpongeBob meme.
yeah. Here we go. Fuck all that. Chibnall's taking the stance. Oh, fuck the Web of Fear. No, unit formed after the War Machines.
I mean, we got 2 cameos from the past, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, wasn't the
Yeah.
computer supposed to be Wotan?
Oh, what? Was it?
Was it? I don't know, but that's what I thought it was. But the other major cameo...
I mean, that
It's a
computer got
computer that
destroyed.
detects extraterrestrial life.
Wotan didn't do that in the War Machines, but I don't.
Okay, so the other major cameo, though, is the Brig. Is that he's not the Brig at the moment.
Yeah,
He's
'cause it's
Corporal
1960s.
Lethbridge Stewart, which... He tries to solve unit dating and creates a whole other controversy here. So...
Because in Web of Fear, he was a colonel.
Exactly. It's not easy to go from a corporal to a colonel. It takes time.
And I don't know when you want to set Web of Fear, but it aired in 1968. So,
Mm-hmm. So
but
he's
then you
messed
want
up
to
with
set,
that. But
if you want to set Web of Fear in the future, but then you're in the same fucking conundrum of caring about unit dating. So
it actually was Nicholas Courtney's voice, which was a nice touch.
yeah,
It was audio cribbed from Terror of the Autons.
and also 1967 unit has the Doctor's TARDIS, the 13th Doctor's TARDIS, just sitting there.
That's not going to mess
Which-
with time at all, is it?
Which this doesn't fuck with the Third Doctor era at all.
No, not in the
Oh,
slightest.
no.
No.
Oh no,
I
Brigadier!
will say
I'm stuck
that
on Earth with a malfunctioning TARDIS.
they did give Nicholas Courtney a credit,
Nice.
which was nice at the end of the episode.
And dare I bitch about that tweet, Rain, on here?
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
Now, there was a tweet by somebody. I won't name them. We're not going to shame but where I'm gonna get mad about the tweet, but I'm not going to shame the tweeter. But there was a tweet that said something along the lines of, "Oh, the Brigadier callback in this episode was so nice, so much better than Moffat with Death in Heaven." And I'm like, for fuck's sakes. It's been 7 years. Get over the Cyberbrig.
I mean, I had my issue with Cyberbrig.
Maybe it wasn't in the best taste. Dude, it's subjective, but it's been 7 years. Get over it and stop finding excuses in a Chibnall episode to needle at the Moffat era. Come on.
3 years before Cyberbrig,
Yeah.
he gave the brig a very respectful send-off.
Oh yeah, Wedding River Song is such a good send-off for the brig too.
Yeah, very, very poignant seeing that.
Yeah.
Still makes the tear up. But,
so anyway, we're in 1967 with that guy from 1958, and he scans Prentice, the Grand Serpent, with his alien detector, and it goes boop boop. Oh, that's weird. It must be broken. Oh, you idiot! You don't even know an alien when you see one, and now you're gonna die.
yeah, and a snake.
I mean, he could have just faked it, and he didn't have to actually kill the guy. But oh well.
No, and a snake comes out of his mouth.
And then the snake merges with the Grand Serpent.
Now,
because
I'm assuming that the snake is not the Grand Serpent.
I don't think so.
It's definitely a part of him.
I mean, if the Grand Serpent is a literal alien snake, that would be a bit too on the nose.
It's okay, we can trap him in a circle of mirrors.
I mean, people did say the Mara might be involved. Please, no, leave that where it is.
No. You've lost your Gonzo Mara privileges.
But later on, somebody else who I won't name just yet says that apparently the Grand Serpent uses some sort of psychic energy in order to implant the snake inside of people.
Yeah, which is why I don't think the snake is them.
Yeah.
I think it comes from him. It's like his energy, but it's not specifically him.
So he kills the general, I think is the rank of this guy, in 1967. And it's like, I'm getting away with it. And then next time we see him, it's 20 years later, and he's trying to become head of something or other in 1987. And this minister is like, you'll get that position over my dead body. Oh, look, what's happened?
Dead body.
Oh, look at that. A body has been discovered.
Yeah, so he goes into the into his car, and he gives instructions to his driver, and the partition rolls down. It's the Undertaker. He says, "Buckle up, Teddy." No, wait, no. No, it's actually the Grand Serpent.
And he makes a snake come out of the gun. I do kind of like how their faces fucking CGI jiggle when he does this.
That's a pretty gnarly effect.
It's gnarly. You know, a big snake coming out of your mouth and suffocating you is pretty fucking gnarly.
They put a lot of effort into the CGI.
Oh yeah.
For this episode, for not a whole lot of output.
Payoff.
Well, yeah. So he kills that guy, and he gets to be the head of whatever it is.
Unit. He's the head of unit.
Oh no. Well, okay, fine.
Oh no, you're right.
Really.
No, he's the overseer of unit. He's like the.
Yeah. Okay.
The government.
And then we cut to 2017, and he's having a meeting with
Kate.
Why?
Now here's the thing. I thought with Kate being in the Next Time trailer, she was going to have a pretty significant part to play. She didn't, so why not just keep her out of that trailer?
Because excitement and getting you to watch the episode that Chibnall made.
I will say, Chibnall does get another point because at the very least he didn't fucking kill Kate.
I was so worried he was going to.
I was going to throw so many fits if he did.
He still might next week.
Speaking of explaining things, remember way back in Resolution when we did the unit has been shut down by Brexit joke?
Oh god, why did you have to remind me of that episode?
Because this episode explains it. It was the Grand Serpent who done it.
Yeah. Which I don't mind, actually.
And
At least that stupid
I'm
joke
still
has some.
remembering resolution.
At least that stupid joke has some meaning now.
Well, Kate,
Also,
Yeah, like
how are you sure? Because as far as we know, time is in flux, so we don't know exactly what's going on at all times.
That's
I
very
did
true.
see a message. I think it might have been on the EP Discord or on Twitter. Does this mean the Grand Serpent voted Brexit to shut down UNIT as part of his master plan?
So moving on.
Moving swiftly on.
What about Kate Stewart, right?
I'm sorry, what?
I'll make fun of Brexit, but even I won't touch that one.
Talk about Kate Stewart, Rain.
Yeah, okay. So we get an interesting confrontation between Kate and the Grand Serpent. Kate is not as
still
stupid.
fantastic.
Kate is not as stupid as her predecessors. She knows something's going on, and she as good as tells the Grand Serpent that. She's like, "Well, I've looked into you, Prentice, and people seem to die mysteriously around you. Also, you haven't aged a day. So if I was guessing, you're some sort of extraterrestrial life form."
And I will say, there was this pretty cool part where she's talking about how she went through all, like, the doctored reports and passed over all the doctored, death reports and things like that.
Yeah.
She did her homework.
She also says, don't try and kill me because I'm wearing, what is it, a...
Psychic shield and
Yeah, some sort of psychic shield.
Yeah.
So whatever he did to kill the other people won't work on her. And she
Well,
walks
that's
out the
okay
office.
because he has a bomb.
And then he blows up her house, yes. But here's the thing, right? Kate is not a stupid character. We know this.
we know this.
Sometimes
Yeah.
impetuous, sometimes misguided, not stupid.
Yeah.
And yet, she really thinks she's going to achieve something by just telling the guy, "I know who you are," and walking out. She doesn't try to have him arrested. She doesn't try to stop him. She doesn't do this much
essentially
sooner.
treats him like you would a toddler. I know what you did. All you have to do is just stop doing it, and you won't get in trouble.
She didn't even try this before. He tried to shut down UNIT, etc., etc.
Either way, he blows up her house, and then she calls. And then she calls on the phone and literally just says, "Oh, it's good. I'm going dark." Click, snap,
Fucking
run.
keys.
See, the real UNIT dating scandal is Osgood and Kate.
I'm for
All
it.
tease and no payout. I'm still very sorry for your wife, Chibnall.
Oh my god.
I do feel sorry for the people that were convinced that either Martha or Osgood or both were showing up in this episode. No.
Oh god. I never thought that.
And maybe they
I
thought,
would have actually given this episode a complete pass if Osgood had shown up. Or if we at least heard her voice.
I can sort of understand it because, they showed Kate in the trailer, so maybe they're using that to hide Osgood. No. I'm sorry, but no.
Yeah. So that's all we see of Kate, and in 2021 we finally find the Grand Serpent's master plan is ready. He orders all the missiles to fire on parts of the world,
Well,
and then
aim
he speaks
at parts of the world.
aim at parts of the world, and then he speaks to his mysterious benefactors, the people whose this master plan has been working for the entire time. It's the fucking
The potatoes.
Centaurans.
Yeah.
We're taking
Why?
the Centaurans seriously again.
I mean, they were good in War of the Centaurans, I guess, but why bring them back for the finale?
Because we have to take the potato people seriously, because there's a legacy potato people you remember from when you were 10.
So Jonathan wants us now play 3 different Centauran characters.
We're going to make the Centaurans
Flux.
serious and edgy, and they're going to kill people, and they're going to be bad.
If you look at the credits, he's credited as a different name to Riskor and whatever the hell the other guy, Skak. So this is a 3rd different Centauran commander he's playing.
So, all of this, the entire secret history manipulating unit for 60 fucking years, has been to facilitate a fucking Centauran.
And we also get a Winter Soldier style Hydra infiltration of UNIT. because
Look at that. I called it.
he talks to that soldier, and she's got the tattoo on her wrist.
Yeah.
Oh my good
Which
God.
means that the people that are trying to stop Yazdan and Jericho are unit corrupted personnel going back in time. What the hell?
Oh, sweet Jesus. We're just ripping
Hi,
off.
past cat. Guess what? You were once again right.
Hey, guys. I just want you to. You hear this? You hear this? Do you know what this is? You want to know what this is?
Is it the other shoe dropping?
This is a Blu-ray of Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Uh-oh.
Chibnall, why the fuck would I watch your shit when I could just watch this shit if that's all you're gonna do?
I mean, that film's not shit.
No, but I mean, why would you want Chibnall's watered-down version that has nothing to say about anything when you could just watch that, which at least has something to say about something?
I mean, it's not even a watered-down version. It's a 10-second scene.
I know.
So
it's
I think right now is a good point for me to interject something.
So what?
You may remember my friend Chris, who was with us with the Stones of Blood episode.
Lovely.
I may have accidentally gotten her a little bit into Doctor Who, and I'm so sorry, Chris.
Oh no. Oh no.
She hasn't been watching the recent episodes, but she has been watching our podcast.
Chris, I'm so sorry.
And
Hi.
I'm not. And at the end of the most recent podcast episode, she mentioned something that I think is entirely true, and it's also something that I have also said before.
Uh-huh.
Chris Chibnall is writing fan fiction.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've said that at some point.
I
Or
have
Mike,
said
you
that
said that
before.
to somebody. Yeah.
I did. I remember because I'm the one who said it. I think it was either in I think it was in season 12.
You said it for Timeless Children, and we all agreed.
Timeless Children? Yeah.
We all agree with you.
Chris Chibnall is still writing really bad fan fiction.
I mean, we're going to get to the Vegas Defender in a bit.
But I
The
do
only
need...
problem is finding out who is his self-insert.
Yeah. I do need a bit of a break before we get to the really, really bad stuff.
Well, that's okay, because we've got a couple little things.
Yeah, we've got a very small series of scenes here with Vinda. More setting up for next week, no doubt.
He's doing that thing again. Like, I'm not as mad at this bit as I was with Ascension, but he's doing the thing again where he's passing the buck on to, this plotline will resolve later. You get a tease of it.
Okay.
Now. Maybe it'll go somewhere.
Okay. Chibnall. I really hope that you're listening to this, although you probably won't because we're nobodies compared to you, unfortunately.
And he is.
But if you do manage to ever listen to what the fuck is up with Vinder? This better have a goddamn payout, that's all I'm saying.
Sadly,
because
I think it
so
will.
far, the only thing that we've had is that he's missing his girlfriend, wife, whatever the fuck she is. That's it. That's your whole motivation for Vinder. There is no reason for him to be here whatsoever, other than the fact that you maybe got Jacob Anderson to be in your Doctor Who show. Is that your whole reason for Vinder? Is that it?
Oh, I think there's
Because
a
if
bigger
it
reason
is,
for that.
I'm pissed off.
No, I think there's a much bigger reason for that, but I'll get to that at the end. Because
Yeah,
I'm dreading the fact that I'm right.
So, Vinder...
It's like, I really fucking hope that this comes to something. Because if it doesn't, I'm going to be even more pissed off.
I
be
am
careful
dreading the
what you wish
possibility
for.
that I'm actually
I
right.
said that last week, and look what fucking happened.
I am dreading the possibility
Look,
that I'm right.
at this point, I don't give a shit.
And
For all I care, that Belle could give birth to the fucking Doctor, and even then, I'd be like, okay, at least it led to something.
I am absolutely terrified that what I thought was going to happen since Once Upon a Time is going to be revealed next week regarding Belle and Vinder.
So, Vinder just misses Belle again because of her own little plot reasons.
Yeah.
And he ends up on this little station, asteroid, whatever it is. And he finds a bunch of people. And oh no, they've been kidnapped by the Sugar Skull Gang.
The Sugar Skull Gang.
And oh no, now they're being dissolved by the weird space fireflies.
Can we also talk about the fact that Swarm and Azure are the main villains of the series, and yet they get about 2 minutes of screen time?
Yeah.
in part 5.
Well, it's okay because the ending does not make up for it at all.
Also,
I
Swarm
don't know where I was going with that.
continues explaining to what's happening when the people have died. Just continues his monologue that nothing happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
They get absorbed into these monolith things, these light monolith things.
my evil plan is progressing perfectly.
And these are the
And
people
then-
that we think were taken in chapter 4.
Which, okay.
So Bell
Yeah.
really did save that dude's life.
And then Vinder gets cornered by 2 passengers, and Swarm shows up and is like, ha ha ha, I've got you now. And he gets sucked into the passenger, and who should he meet but Dan's lady friend, Diane, whose name I could not fucking remember when I was writing this episode.
I know. Diane.
Diane.
Well, she has such a big character and adds so much to this. How could you ever forget her name?
So now they're inside a passenger, and that's... Oh, look, that's the end of Vinder's plot.
She's got some scores to settle, and that's literally all you see of her.
So Bell,
Wow,
meanwhile...
I really wish that this would go somewhere.
Well,
My sarcasm meter might be a bit broken from this. I am so sorry.
At least
boy.
Belle gets a subplot where she gets to do something.
Yeah, she's on the stolen Lupari ship, and it just so happens back on Earth, one of the Lupari ships leaves its shield. So, good boy dog Carvanista is like, oh look, there's a rogue Carvanista ship some parsecs away. I'll just recall that one. And Belle's like, oh no! And she goes.
Don't
off
you
into
dare hijack me,
hyperspace.
Carvanista proceeds to hijack her.
And then he comes on board, and they have a bit of a shootout as they try to kill each other. And then all of a sudden they're stunking, and who should show up but the Santarans!
Dun, dun,
Oh
I'm
no!
so upset.
Take the potatoes seriously,
And
you
now,
guys!
I guess the enemy of my enemy is my friend, because suddenly they're best buds.
I mean, they're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I guess
Also,
so.
we should probably mention that at the end of the scene with Yaz and Dan and everything, the Santarans also come out of the doors.
Oh no! The
I was saving
aliens
that
are menacing
for the ending, but yeah, all right. They come out the doors.
Aliens are menacing our main characters with guns. I wonder how they're going to get out of this one. Surely they're not going to just escape like the Master.
They're just
every
going to open
time.
door number 9.
Look, Rain. This is just Chris Chibnall trying to make the Santarans important. They don't deserve to be in the ending.
My
that's
guess is that they at the beginning of chapter 6, Yaz opens door number 9.
And it's Daleks.
It probably is Daleks, because we know they're in it.
So, I think we need to talk about it, you two.
Are you sure? There's so
think-
much more we can talk about. Like,
I think we need to let me off the chain, let me loose, be a pissed off raven pecking at Chris Chibnall's head.
but there's
like
so
a
much more we can
monster.
talk about, Jerry. Like, no, go ahead.
Well, come on, Rain. We gotta face the Raven.
No, this does not deserve to be referenced in this.
It does not. It really does not.
No.
Just think, Rain. 6 years ago, as this shit, 6 years ago when this shit was airing, you were watching Heaven Sent.
I know. I know.
Now
One of
you're
the
getting
best
this shit.
episodes.
Hellbent is better. But
Still one of my favorite episodes of all time. Haven't
I
seen.
said one of. I
Yeah.
never said that Hellbent was bad or
Yeah.
worse or anything.
I'm viewing Rainiac, not you.
But
I
I
know.
admit
It's just,
that you,
I'm. For once, I'm firmly in the center of this, and I like both.
apart from the jokes, I have never once said that it's wrong to say that Hellbent's better than Heaven Sent. I personally don't agree with you, but you're not wrong in that opinion.
Thank you. So
You're not wrong, but you are wrong.
So my little Hellbent likers, let's talk about The Division.
My little Hellbent like is nice. Yeah.
Well,
So
first, let's talk about the Doctor.
let's talk about how the Angels completely wasted in the first 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. The Doctor got out of that little cliffhanger by just, being unstoned.
Yeah, it was just transportation.
I will say the aggressive blinking is kind of funny.
Yeah, and also the fact that the Angels turned her to stone just because they wanted to, and they wanted to make her frightened by turning her into an angel. That kind of fits the Weeping Angel MO.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just too bad this scene has absolutely nowhere to go because the whole point of it is explaining to the Doctor what we already know.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's not a foreboder for what's going to come
Also,
next.
those angel
Huh.
voices are interesting.
Interesting is the word I choose, yes.
It's like just these
Because
whispered voices.
apparently this is not the real world. As far as I could tell, this seems to be some sort of mental hive mind that the angels have.
It is, well, it is some sort of
Yeah.
transportation because, well, as we see, the doctor's not exactly in Kansas when she gets out of this.
No. So they put her in stone again briefly because we've arrived, returned to form, and then she breaks out the stone again because we really need to repeat ourselves. Christian likes to repeat himself.
Well, like I said, I think that the first one was a mental projection, and then this one is the real thing.
Anyway, the doors open, she walks through, and she meets the true mastermind behind all these events, an Ood!
Look, an Ood. Remember the Ood?
It's the first time
Remember
an Ood's
2000
spoken on camera since, God, End of Time?
Yeah. Doctor's wife?
No, I didn't
Did you
speak.
guys just find an Ood costume and decide, hey, this will work?
That Ood didn't speak.
Remember 2006 when the show was good?
I mean, the episode that introduced the Ood is one of my favourite double bills of all time, so yes.
I mean, those shows were good, but you know how I feel about referential bullshit.
And one day I will pick those two episodes and I will rejoice. But this is not that day.
Maybe that day will be next week after we finish Flux.
Possibly.
It is your choice next.
It is my
after all,
choice, but I was
right?
thinking something a bit more seasonal. But we'll think about it.
We'll find. Okay, so this point.
Join us next time after this for the Christmas invasion.
I mean,
it could be.
could be. Oh, okay.
It could be. It's not bad. But anyway. Yeah,
So, hey,
no, it's not the Ood. The Ood is not the mastermind. The Ood is just a servant to the real big bad. Orsock. She's back.
Suck. He's back in pod form.
Oh.
Alright, let's just get this out of the way. She's Tecteun. That's it.
Gee,
That's
Cat,
the big-
way to kill the build.
I don't give a fuck. This is stupid.
Yeah, Barbara Flynn is Tecteun.
AKA the Doctor's quote-unquote mother.
So I was right about them hiding her name with the Allsort thing. But yeah, she is the Doctor's mother figure. The person they've built up for about 2 series.
So
The person that hasn't been built up for 2 series. She was literally in 1 fucking episode, and that's it.
a year and a half ago. So these answers, Chibnall's answers to his arc, are, in the first place, the most obvious bog standard bullshit you could come up with when pondering this. The leader of the division is Tecteun, who was the Doctor's mom. And we get Chibnall doubling down, almost trolling us in a way, because the Doctor straight up asks her, as this whole monologue is happening, is what the Master told me true? Yes, it is, Doctor. Yes, it is.
Yeah, which means we can't walk that back.
We're not walking this one back. I'm altering canon forever, and you can't stop me.
Again, SpongeBob.
See the SpongeBob meme.
Unless he stops himself, but we'll get to that when we get to the Vanquishers. But,
Yeah. So there are a lot of problems with this, but we're just gonna get the lore bullshit out of the way first. I feel is the best idea before we get into. Well, I'm sure you have complaints too, but I have several.
Oh, I have a
complaints
whopper of a
about this
complaint.
entire thing.
I like
sure
how
we
we
have-
just got a message from Mike that says, I tried to save us.
Yeah.
There's
An
no
attempt-
saving us, Mike.
An attempt was made. I appreciate. What is he saying now? It's too late. God damn. We're just talking about our fucking Discord chat now. Anything to escape the fucking lore bomb of this fucking episode. Jesus Christ.
Alright, so I'm just gonna also get this out of the way. I was technically in a little bit right. So,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The only thing that I can honestly play for this is just this. think that pretty much sums up everything.
I resonate with what Mike just said in chat. 1 week and then we're free. Free for a month
from Chibnall. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay.
That's a mood. That's a goal.
So, let us just get to this.
Okay. What is Division?
Well,
Division's bigger than you ever could imagine it to be. Working in the shadows all these years.
Oh, so it's Hydra.
Yeah. When she says Division is simple, I just thought, what, she's a maths teacher now?
So, I was right about several parts of this. The Division is indeed exactly like Hydra. Just, more stupid.
The Division is also like that agency we can't talk about from that show we can't talk about.
Yes.
Like exactly like it.
It's also, it also is literally in the divide between two universes.
So, I just wanted to go into... Do you have any more, I was right things, Kat?
I mean, I will point out that the tree that's in the big, I don't know, space station that they're in does kind of look like it could be a Yggdrasil, but that's about it.
Yeah, I got that feeling myself. Yeah, the world tree.
Yeah, that's cute, I guess.
But yeah.
And also, what I said before is kind of true because according to Tecteun, she's got like little samples of plants and animals and things so that they can, bring them to the new universe and replant them or whatever.
We built up Tecteun for on and off for a series, give or take.
A year and a half.
Yeah, a year and a half. We built up Division for longer than that. And it turns out to be that it started off as like Gallifrey Black Ops, and then it got bigger, and it grew.
So there's a lot of
other species because it had to. Why did it have to? I don't know. The plot.
I have several problems with this, if I may.
Go on.
So first of all, and I'm cribbing from my notes again because it helps me to focus my thoughts when I write it down. It's like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I wrote it down so I didn't have to remember. So first off, all of this year and a half bullshit, teasing the Division, Tecteun, the Times Child for God knows how long, and what we get is the most obvious shit imaginable. And Tecteun's grand plan, as the leader of the shadowy division, which controls the entire fucking universe or whatever the shit, is, we're gonna end the universe and move on to a new one because, Doctor, you ruined this one by being a paragon of hope or some bullshit.
What's the speech?
I would like to point out that this not only is just the most bog-standard, boring, predictable bullshit you could imagine after a year and a half of teasing, no subversion or anything at all, just the most obvious thing. But also, and this is a personal affront to me in many ways, it sounds like a bad copy of Matt Smith's Silence arc. Because Tecteun is like, they're so scared of what the Doctor might do that they were going to walk backwards into hell and become even worse because they're afraid of what the Doctor might become. Oh, we're afraid that you're going to ruin this universe and the Flux and shit, so we're just going to let it die and move on to a new universe.
Hey Frez.
Hey.
You wanted to get even worse?
Oh boy, go on.
So, tell me, what was the whole point of Trial of a Time Lord again?
To not get the show canceled?
Oh, good Lord, she's right.
It was literally putting the Doctor on trial, wasn't
for interfering.
Uh-huh.
And, one could, sort of say that, in this, the Doctor kind of represents what the show does for the fans. Meanwhile, Tecteun / Allsaw could be, maybe Chris Chibnall.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, I'm with you so far.
Where he decides, hey, you guys are enjoying the show? Fuck you. I'm going to destroy the entire thing and restart everything.
Interesting. interesting. It's much more interesting. What you're saying is so much more interesting than the actual show itself. The complications of Chris Chibnall being this figure destroying everything. I actually rewatched The Three Doctors a while ago, and you're making Chris Chibnall sound like Omega. If I can't have it, no one will. My will is to destroy.
Again, please do not compare
Yeah.
Tecteun to Omega. Omega is so much better.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. I was comparing Chris Chibnall to Omega.
Yeah,
not
fair enough.
Tecteun.
'Cause Omega is a
They
classic
play-
villain. We don't talk
Well,
about the
let's
space
be
chicken,
fair.
but
Let's be fair. This is not what Chibnall was going for. However, in my meta reading of it, I just get this feeling that he's the Tecteun, and the Doctor is literally what the show represents to all the fans.
yeah.
Where it's
I
like,
would compare-
oh,
I would-
you have hope for this show? Fuck you.
And
I would
then it
compare
gets
Chris Chibnall to
worse.
another character. If I may go on here, because I'm talking about the Silence arc. Now, you know me. I became fascinated by the Silence arc because so much of its implications and the retroactive things after the fact, both as it was airing, the mystery enticed me in a way that Chibnall era Doctor Who hasn't enticed me. But also watching it back and knowing all the clues and where it went, it just ideas and thoughts and headcanons came to me, and I wrote a post about it. We did a whole arc discussion about it. It remains one of my favorite arcs of Doctor Who. I can think about its implications and other things and create my own headcanons beyond it all the time. The Division shit has none of that for me. Like, you could almost see somebody taking the implications of universe-spanning Black Ops Shadow Cabal bullshit that the Division feels entitled to. You could almost see somebody taking some good idea out of it. But Chris Chibnall certainly isn't inspiring me. There's none of that crackling mystery behind it because everything else is being just explained to you matter-of-factly. As I said, it doesn't feel like a mystery is being cultivated. It feels like an oversight.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I have another comparison to Trial of a Time Lord.
Uh-huh.
The whole trial was about the Doctor meddling, and now Chris Chibnall just goes in and says, ha! It doesn't matter, because guess what? The entirety of the Time Lords were meddling because of the Division.
Yep.
But it wasn't just
So-
the time, though. That's the thing.
I
know,
will...
but it still was going... I mean, the Doctor even points this out that, you know what? She's not even the Doctor anymore. She's Jodie. Jodie points this out saying, hey, that goes against everything that the Time Lords said they wanted to do, which was not interfere.
I just want to say, this is Chibnall telling on himself. The Doctor's main two objections to, I run a universe-spanning Black Ops secret organization that interferes in time and space for our own nefarious ends. Her main objections are, 1, but interfering is bad, and 2, but you work with the bad aliens to do it.
Yeah, she really gets hung up on the fact that the Weeping Angels are part of this.
And it's like, at this point I'm thinking, this Doctor couldn't even stop Space Amazon. What fucking chance is there that she will do any fucking thing to stop a universe-spanning system of exploitation, oppression, and Black Ops bullshit?
Oh, she won't, but thankfully she doesn't have to now.
I wouldn't say thankfully. I would say infuriatingly.
I agree, I was being sarcastic.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Fuck!
But we'll
Oh,
get to that when we
God.
get to the ending. We'll get to that.
I
when we
just
get to the ending.
realized, yeah. Ugh. You know.
But
And then it gets
I also-
worse.
what I also just want to add before I'll let you go. I know I'm taking up a lot of air, but you
No,
wanted
take
me
it.
to go. You wanted me to
Take
go
it, go
off,
off.
Rain. You were excited for me to go off.
Oh, I'm
and we're
excited.
here.
I'm excited.
Fucking
But
do
also,
it.
there's almost a seed of an interesting idea here. Almost. Because Tecteun's whole plan of abandoning... Tecteun's whole plan, when you think about it, is, oh, this universe is doomed anyway, because it's all fucked up. And instead of using my massive power to change it, I'm just going to say, the hell with it, and pool all my resources into going to another universe where I can ruin it and rule it as I see fit and do whatever I want.
And she even calls it Universe 2.
And this is and many people have compared it to this. This is sort of like Elon Musk and SpaceX and shit, and all these billionaires who are like, oh, instead of doing something to save the planet or do anything with climate change, we're just going to build rockets so we can get off this fucking doomed rock as fast as possible and exploit Mars or some shit, rather than fix this shit. Have fun, fuckers. See ya.
Except
I'm
that
so
Chibnall
mad right now.
Chibnall's not framed like that at all, so that's not it at all.
He's not. But what I'm saying is, it could be. The seed is there.
There's something here, isn't there? There's something in this concept.
Oh yeah, and we should probably mention that the Flux was created by the Division because of the Doctor.
Of course it was.
Well, we got that teased in episode 3, so.
But I also want to say, and
yeah, but this is confirmation.
And this is so close to the episode being about something other than lore, is that, we go Doctor Who mirror alert, parallel things. Think about it like this, okay? Think about microcosm and macrocosm. Massive galactic event and smaller personal event happening on Earth, okay? So you have the Division, which is this massive organization meddling around for its own nefarious purpose. Then on Earth, in the B-plot, you have the Grand Serpent, who's a little guy as far as cosmic things are concerned, meddling with Unit for his own nefarious purposes.
There's a parallel there, isn't there?
There's a parallel. You could work with that. You could tie them together and say something about something, but they're not fucking doing it. Chibnall's not fucking doing it because he's more concerned about Doctor Who continuity.
Yeah.
And it's driving me fucking insane.
Yeah.
But it gets worse.
It gets so much worse because there is so much wrong with these scenes. The writing is very bad. It's just an exposition dump.
It's Chibnall.
It's the Timeless Children again.
Yeah.
Literally
but
the same.
Somehow worse.
It's after a year and a half.
Because at least the Timeless Children had a bunch of flashback scenes to justify it.
After all that.
After all the year and a half. Chibnall has made it worse.
It had scenes, but it narrated over by the Master, but you saw the things happening. You actually saw them on the screen. For all the Timeless Children did things wrong, it did that right. It showed.
See, here's where I have a question to ask. Do you guys think it would have been better if COVID rules were not in place? Or do you think it would have been worse?
I can't say for sure.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if COVID rules have anything to do with what he's saying about showing the flashback stuff, but I mean...
Well, I mean, they probably had, time constraints or they couldn't do certain things.
Yeah.
So, it's just one of those things where I'm wondering
but
how much of it was
show
affected.
While
but honestly, I can't see the writing being affected by this because it's Chibnall.
Well,
I can't see him writing.
I'm saying fuck you to the writing. I'm specifically saying there might be a valid reason as to why they didn't film a whole bunch of scenes.
I guess.
And I'm wondering if the COVID rules and, the whole thing was not in place.
It's possible.
Would it have been a little bit better because at the very least it would show?
But here's the thing. When the Master was talking over his flashbacks and Timeless Children, there was enough of what he was talking about to show. Chibnall didn't show not tell, but he showed and told, which is okay, I guess. But there was enough of what he was talking about to actually show visibly on the screen. What Ted Tune is talking about? What would they show? The formation of Division, I guess? What?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
There's nothing to show because this has no substance to it.
Exactly.
This is the grand resolution to Division. This.
They're just some bad guys, meddling with things just because.
And then, as you say, it gets worse because there's one specific exchange of dialogue which is just the worst.
I'm sorry again. I apologize for taking up all the air in the room of the critique, but this really has driven me up the fucking wall, if I may.
Go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we need to talk about the scene where Tecteun tries to tell the Doctor, "We're not so different, you and I."
Okay, Dr. Evil.
Yeah, and her basic argument here about how the Doctor is just as bad as she is is that Tectune compares her own, taking the young doctor from inside a wormhole without knowing anything about her, experimenting on her like a lab rat for years to gain the secret of regeneration, recruiting her into her Black Ops Shadow Cabal Division bullshit for God knows how long, and then wiping her mind of it all in the end, erasing God knows how many years, centuries, millennia of memories, doing all that. Tectune did all that, and then she says to the doctor, well, you take on companions of your own and show them around the universe and use them for your own reassurance and company, so you're just as bad as I am, Doctor, manipulating your companions. They're your experiments, just like you were my experiment.
No.
Fuck you. Absolutely fuck you. Go.
I mean...
I would like to inject something good into this. Barbara Flynn is actually a pretty good actress.
Oh, Barbara Flynn is a great
I have nothing
actress.
against the acting. Nothing against the acting in this.
Oh no, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, at one point she tries to convince the doctor to join her, and in that moment, it kind of does feel like a mother figure asking her daughter figure to please go with her.
Yeah.
So kudos to you, Barbara Flynn. You get 10,000 points for that.
She made chicken salad out of chicken shit.
It's well acted, but I don't like that for reasons I'll get into. For plot reasons.
Yes.
But
it's like
I just want
to
to
inject something good into this.
Okay, fine. Compliment sandwich. I can get that. Okay, but this. So, in the first fucking place, we have a meme from hang on, I need to get the proper credit for this.
Chronic Hoovian.
At Chronic Hoovian. Pop the meme up there.
Yep. There it is.
This is literally what we're doing here. This is, in the first place, the most trite, hackneyed bullshit an antagonist could say. We're not so different, you and I. You actually are the bad one, not me. And it's now, on its own, it's utter complete horseshit. Like, even just if we left it here, it'd be like, that is bullshit. And is this where I actively yell, fuck? No, I didn't actively yell, oh, fuck off at the screen for this bit. I did for the join me bit. But I didn't for this bit, but, I'm rolling my eyes. Oh, come the fuck on.
Yeah.
But it gets worse.
It does.
You know how Chibnall has those unfortunate implications that he didn't really think about in the stories? Things that people latch onto and go, wait, hang on, you could read that as this. What the fuck, Chibnall?
Yeah.
I'm talking shit like, well, yeah. I'm talking shit like this. I don't think this is as extreme as this. Well, maybe you can judge it if it's as extreme as this. But I'm talking shit like, now people will see what you really look like in Spyfall 2 with the Master.
Yeah.
Like, shit like that he didn't think of beyond the shadow of the obvious, oh, that'll be a fun little thing, huh? So,
yeah, because exposing a man of color in, Nazi Germany. Fantastic idea.
He didn't think of the wider implications.
The wider implications. This is ethically fucking bankrupt when you really think about it. Because we have the Doctor, a sufferer of abuse at the hands of her abusive mom in the name of experimenting in science and Black Ops Division bullshit. Now her abuser is trying to say, you're just perpetuating the cycle of abuse and doing the same thing as me. You're the same as me and taking on companions. And that is incredibly offensive and tone deaf for actual sufferers of abuse.
It's gaslighting.
Friend of the show, Krista McTeer, buy her book, Battle of the 11th Hour, on Amazon.com. We gotta put the plug in somewhere. Has a thread about this, and basically goes into her own experiences with this stuff and says, yeah, Chibnall, you can fuck right off.
Yeah.
Like, you just sit there on the surface, you think it's just trite. You're actually the bad person. Bullshit. But in the context of abuse and abuser, it is literal gaslighting bullshit, and get it out of the show. Fuck it.
Well, thankfully, it's out of the show now.
I mean, to be fair, that is something that an abuser would actually do is, continue the cycle of abuse by saying, you're just like me. You do this, you do that, and that's something that is totally exactly like I am, so we're no different. I could see an abuser doing that, and obviously gaslighting and everything. However, Chibnall, you had so many other things to say. It didn't have to be the Doctor's companions or that. I'm not excusing this whole thing, because obviously it's repugnant. But what I'm saying is, if he had Tecteun say something like, "You go around, committing genocide against certain races just because they don't fit into your moral standards," that's something that could have actually worked a little bit better than you take on companions.
Yeah.
Actually challenge the status of Doctor Who. Fucking go for it. Don't give us this half-ass bullshit.
If you're going to do Trial of a Time Lord again, actually fucking do Trial of a Time Lord again.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but they did the moral, high ground thing a little bit better, just because, they actually pointed out that he, committed genocide against the Vervoids.
Then we get to, like you said, the join me scene.
This is a weird day.
So, the fob watch.
So, yeah. Hey, look, she kept all the Doctor's memories, and she's like, "Listen, Doctor, if you join me in the new universe, I'll give you all your memories back." And at this point, I realized Chibnall is telling a Shaggy Dog story. Because the clear implication here, if he's setting up, if the Doctor gets her memories back, she'll go bad, the clear implication is that she will either reject those memories in some way, she rejects this offer, or she will lose the memories in some way, having to sacrifice them, and it'll all be like, "Oh, well, I choose who I am. I'm the Doctor. These 14 lives are who I am, not that division bullshit."
That is absolutely where we're going.
It's absolutely where we're going. You have some theories on that, too, I know, but...
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's be fair. In the next time trailer, we do see the fob watch actually open, so...
Yeah, but my argument to that is that is sort of a threat in the trailer, like, "Oh no, the fob watch is going to open. How horrible." So I feel like that's going to be subverted, and the Doctor's still going to reject these memories, or lose them in some fashion.
I'm going to make some predictions when we get to the end.
But, again, like I said with Timeless Children, this is warmed over leftovers from fucking Rise of Skywalker. It's that same shit of, "I'm who I choose to be, not my what you say my legacy is."
Somehow this bullshit has returned.
And that movie couldn't even get it right. It was a muddled, half-formed seed of a decent idea that was bogged down with continuity bullshit. And that movie is a hell of a lot better than either Timeless Children or this episode.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, I know it would take longer to watch Rise of Skywalker than Timeless Children and Survivors of the Flux, but I'd rather throw that on than those.
Now, I didn't think about the context of abuser and gaslighting, and yeah, that's terrible, but it's the joy in me bit that I have real issue with. And I'd like to explain why.
Go on. So
Tecteun's whole reason for the Flux is to destroy the Doctor, yes?
I guess
because the Doctor instills hope in people.
Yeah, you inspire them.
Listen, I watched all of fucking Symphogear twice, and even I'm like, Chibnall, you don't know hope from your ass.
Also, again, they didn't show this, but Tecteun implies that the Doctor has beaten the Flux by throwing the TARDIS in front of it, or slowed it down, or something. So that's the first thing. But then when she changes tech and says, join me. Come back to the vision, come back to your mother, you can have all your memories. I'll take you to the second universe where the wormhole is where I found you. But the whole reason you started the Flux in the first place was to destroy her. And now you're taking her with you.
Wibbly wobbly, flippy floppy.
I think she's banking on the idea that if she gives back the Doctor's memories, that the Doctor will turn back to that division, Doctor again.
It's fair. That's a fair point. But there is so much wrong with this writing. There's just so much wrong with it, and there's so much wrong with Tecteun's motivation. And she even backpedals further. She's like, "What if I save the Earth? What if I give you the Earth?" And of course the Doctor's not going to take any of this. Thankfully, at least he doesn't have her join her. She doesn't join Tecteun. And then, of course, we set up the ending. The single most hilarious, unintentionally hilarious ending I think I've ever seen.
There is one thing I want to get to before the ending, and as much as I don't really want to talk about this any further, I mean, I kind of need to. It's more of a complaint about Chibnall again.
Mm-hmm.
Having the whole thing be this sort of moral quandary is interesting, but he royally fucked. Like, royally fucked it. Because you could have a lot here that could be very interesting. You know, like, you could have the idea of what's basically, you know, a giant arc being taken to the other side. You could have the whole thing with, you know, Tecteun starting the end of the universe. You know, there's so much here that is so messed up because Chris Chibnall can't use it effectively. And I kind of wish that he had let other people write these episodes rather than just the one with whatever her name was.
Alderton.
Yes, thank you. But it's like, you had some promise here. It wasn't a lot, but it was at least some promise where you could have, you know, actually put down this whole thing between the Doctor and the mother figure. I mean, there's that whole bit where the Doctor is saying, you don't know why I was there. Maybe I had gone through the wormhole, but maybe I was with somebody who they went through. Or maybe I was there waiting for somebody. And the fact that he doesn't take that further is really annoying. It's like, you could have done so much with this bit. You could have made it so emotional. You could have made it, you know, like, heart-wrenching. But no, instead you have to spread around your fanficky bullshit.
God.
Thanks, Chibnall.
Thanks, Chibnall.
Thanks, Chibnall.
So, if I may, Rainiac, I would like to set up the ending with a little, a bit more of a rant.
Please do.
Well, so Chibnall's consistency rears its ugly head here. So I just want to remind you of some complaints we made during, it might have been during Series 11, definitely was during Series 12, that we made the complaint about the Doctor, Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who, not being proactive enough versus her antagonist. Where we counted the episodes, and proactivity gets taken out of her hands when it comes to stopping her antagonist. So either she lets them go because of muddled, apologies, Rain, centrist views, like Kerblam, or Jack Robertson twice, for instance.
Fuck him.
Or some guest character shows up at the last minute to defeat the alien antagonist or whoever for her, like King James in Witchfinders, or Ko Sharmas in Timeless Children blowing everything up instead of the Doctor. So, surely, given the sheer scope and magnitude of the lore bombs that Chibnall's dropping with the Doctor's relationship with Tecteun, the mastermind of the universe, her mother figure, the person who experimented on her as a child, the person who's caused all this pain and trauma, surely with all that, Chibnall wouldn't put one of these options on the table, would he?
No, he
Right?
totally did.
Go on,
It was
Ray.
somebody else.
Okay,
Go on, Ray.
so we this is set up beautifully. So the Doctor has rejected Tecteun's offers. And she says something like, "End of the universe, you, me, it's personal now," because it wasn't personal before for some reason. What the hell?
I think at one point Tecteun even offers, hey, you know what we could do? I can make sure that your friends survive. Would you like that, Doctor?
So yeah, there's all that set up, and then the Doctor almost gets a cool line and says, you know, and I'm gonna destroy the Vision here, and I'm gonna win. And then you just hear this voice saying, "No, Doctor, you won't." Swarm and Azura here.
I don't know what happens, Rainiac.
How did they get here? Well, you know those people they turned into a fine mist? That somehow created a bridge to this division. No, I don't understand it either.
I'll buy it.
All right, I can kind of possibly explain that. Possibly.
They're using the powers of space to bridge the gap. I don't know.
The
No.
Time Force.
Time Force? Go on.
So, if you remember, what was it? Once Upon a Time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we first got introduced to the little space fireflies.
Yeah.
And then Swarm and Azure were like, hey, now we have access to these space fireflies.
Okay.
What I am thinking, and you're probably going to hate me for this, is that Swarm and Azure are some sort of very weird version of being angels.
Oh, God.
No.
Where they use the space fireflies to dissolve the person, and then because they're time beings, they absorb all of the time that the person has within them. And then that powers them up.
It's a good theory. No.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I reject that. No, not really. I'm messing with you, but
No, it's okay. I kind of rejected too.
but they're here, and they're face to face with the person responsible for imprisoning them in the first place, and also freeing them. But let's not go into that just yet. So yeah, we get this really cool confrontation, villain versus villain, and he dusts her immediately.
She's dead.
This is
She's just fucking
hilarious.
dead. I'm not laughing.
It's not meant to be hilarious, but when this happened, I burst out laughing so hard because we've built her up as this huge force in not just the universe, but multiple universes.
No, see, you're missing the main point here. Swarm is the one who took down Division. Because
Yeah.
Tecteun was the only one left who was, Division herself.
Yeah.
Swarm defeated Division.
Swarm
Not the
defeated
Doctor.
Division, not the Doctor, yeah.
Chibnall did it a fucking again. He took the greatest fucking foe he'd been building up for a year and a half, and he took the fucking responsibility of stopping them out of his protagonist's hands.
Yep, Simshar is defeated by the combined force of Graham and Ryan.
He killed her
May I
conveniently.
remind everybody that he built up the Division to be this big bad. They had agents all over the universe in all different kinds of species. They could not be stopped. Tecteun started the end of the universe so that she could go to the next one and, take over that one because apparently all she wants is power. And no, the Doctor doesn't do shit.
And even worse now, it's doomed multiple universes because I think without Tecteun, they can't enact the plan.
So, may I?
I think that the plan is on autopilot by this point because Ood is just basically overseeing everything, but
Oh, he's going to get dusted too.
Oh yeah.
May I? May I?
You may.
Please?
Yeah.
God fucking damn it! Oh. So he does it again. He takes away any agency or proactivity from his protagonist, killing the main antagonist of this entire fucking arc by someone else's hand, conveniently, so the Doctor gets no catharsis and doesn't have to deal with any of the ethical ramifications of stopping Division. God damn it!
See, Frez, I think we've got it all wrong. We've all been assuming something that is completely wrong.
But the Doctor's the hero of the story?
The Doctor is not the main character. Chris Chibnall is.
Oh, dear fucking. And like you said, this doesn't even stop Tecteun's plans. So now the Sugar Skull Gang are going to menace the universe, and they need to be stopped. I sure can't fucking wait for Carvanista or somebody to sacrifice himself to blow those two up, so the Doctor doesn't need to do shit. We wouldn't want the main title character of the show to be any fucking competent, now would we?
Oh my god.
Let's be fair, it's not going to be Carvanista, it's going to be Yaz.
No, it won't be Yaz.
No, it's probably going to be Yaz.
It will be Carvanista for one very important reason. It would remove the final link of Division to the Doctor.
Which does tie into your theory, but
Oh yeah, my predictions. Well,
I swear to God.
Oh boy.
but before that, I'm going to horrify you all.
Oh, I'm already fucking horrified. But go on.
Have you worked out yet that this ending is functionally identical to the ending of Ascension of the Cybermen?
What?
It's
Wait.
functionally identical.
I don't remember Ascension of the Cybermen.
Okay,
that
so
much,
the
so you're
end
gonna
of the
have to
Ascension of the
explain.
Cybermen was that the Cybermen were about to break through and kill everyone. Well, that's the
Sontarans.
Sontarans,
Uh-huh.
and the Doctor was visited by somebody out of the nowhere. That's Azuran Swarm.
Yep.
And
Join us next time on Doctor Who Reviews, where we do Timeless Children Part 2.
and there was a surprise entry from that shouldn't have happened. That's Mr. Williamson. It's the same cliffhanger. He's ripped off himself.
Save my big rant about the overall thoughts. But Rain, I think you should get into your theory about.
Okay,
division.
I'm not
That's
theories,
gonna resolve.
predictions. And can I just say, I don't want
would.
any of this to happen.
But it probably will.
I don't want to be right. But I've got some predictions what's going to happen next week. Prediction number 1. We've already touched on it. The Doctor will give up her memories of the past to save the universe. It's either that or Mike is right and they'll actually go ahead and reboot the universe into Universe 2.
Which would be Big Bang.
It would be Big Bang, but worse. Prediction number 2. Again, we touched on it. Carvanista will sacrifice himself to save somebody. Prediction number 3 is the Death Tunnel will get news probably at the beginning of the episode. But the big one, and the one I really do not want to be right, but I think I'm right, is the identity of Bell and Vinda.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry, they're the Doctor's parents.
At this point, I think we're kind of emotionally numb. Just like fucking go on.
I would like to say one thing. I do not think that the theory about the fact that they're going to reboot into Universe 2 is ever going to happen because of one specific reason, and even I don't think Chibnall would go that far. Just because if they do, then because this takes place quote unquote in 2021, they erase everything that happens in the future of the universe, as well as they give no reason for the Doctor to have done anything that she/he has done before.
Yeah.
It's like Chris Chibnall is bad, but I can't see him destroying the continuity that much.
Oh, I don't know so much.
Who knows with Chris Chibnall anymore? Honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not holding out any hope, but I'm kind of thinking that even he has enough of.
Think of the most cliche,
brain.
predictable, trite bullshit you can think of, and it's likely Chris Chibnall will do that and treat it like it was God's gift to writing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate to say this word again, but I'm kind of hoping that he has some sort of brain cell in his body. They'll tell him not to do that.
So.
My tolerance is running low. Can we please wrap this up?
Are we ready for final thoughts? I definitely want to go last because I have a massive fucking rant.
Oh, I know you do. So, Kat, would you like to go first?
Yeah, why not? I have mixed feelings about this episode. We have all the bad stuff. We have some good stuff, which, I enjoyed at the very least. I laughed at the Hermit and the whole Dan slapstick stuff. I had a good time up until the ending, at the very least. It's just the logistics of everything is horrible. The Doctor continues to not do anything. It's very much a, we should do something. We should do something kind of situation. And it's just, I have never been so sad to have been right before. Even on just, the small level that I am right. All in all, fuck it. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I could say.
Right?
Yeah, this is a mess. I mean, Once Upon a Time was a mess, but still somewhat enjoyable. And there are parts of this that are somewhat enjoyable too. But here's the thing that I've realised. He's cribbed all those from other episodes and other concepts, but done it worse. Like the 1904 scenes are good, I suppose. That they're enjoyable. But we've seen that done before and better with Martha in Last of the Time Lords. The companions going on a quest to save the day. Martha's quest is fantastic, and this not so much.
Remember 2007?
Yeah, the whole well, all right. The outcome of that, Clap Your Hands to Billion Time was not so much, but the actual quest she had was great.
No, I get you.
So much better than this. The Hermit is funny. I'm sorry, I think he's very funny. But what he sets up is all right, and Carvanista gets a great line. But what they do with the Great Wall of China has been done before in the Big Bang, and better with the Oldest Cliff in the Universe and River Song. We've seen it all before, but they've made it worse. And then the one thing we haven't seen before is Tetsuo and the Division, and that's just dog shit. It just is. There's no spark to anything. It's just exposition dump and then horrible, horrifying revelations that he didn't even think through, like the whole gaslighting thing. And then, oh, your big bad is dead because your big bad killed her. So the Doctor doesn't get catharsis, and we don't get explanation beyond that. Just awful. Just awful.
I would like to say one thing before I start, and this is just a little tangent. Another piece of media I absolutely abhor, hate, despise, that does the same sort of bullshit as this, where it routinely denies the protagonist any catharsis in defeating her antagonists, and has some other force destroy them instead of her. Can you guess the piece of media I'm thinking of?
It's not Madoka.
It's a little video game that came out about a decade ago. It was called Metroid Other M.
Oh God.
Ah.
That game routinely does that. In the back half. Routinely. Repeatedly does the same shit. I'm not gonna spoil the game, but this big baddie is attacked your guy and attacked you. Oh, but it got away. We'll get revenge. Oh, killed off screen. This person's been killing people. We'll get them in revenge in the end. They tried to kill you. Oh, killed off screen. And you're gonna go into the final area. Oh, nope. We're gonna cut you off. You're not gonna do it. Someone else is gonna sacrifice themselves to do it.
My name is Adam. I'm a great military mind. I'm going to authorize you to use your various suit minutes after you actually needed it.
Yeah. So I absolutely detest Other M for this, and it's been a bugbear. So you know how I feel about this. But here's my rant, folks at home. I'll be honest with you. If it was for this fine show and getting to talk with Rain Cat and having feeling almost obligated to not leave them in the lurch, this is where I would quit. This is honestly one of the worst episodes of Doctor Who ever. It's worse in a different way than something like Twin Dilemma or indeed Lie of the Land, which isn't that bad in retrospect compared to this. But it's worse in a different way, but it is still, in its own criteria, one of the worst Doctor Who episodes of all time for me. Because of the simple fact that the passion I felt for Doctor Who has been diminished by this bullshit by Mr. Chris Chibnall. Because I will explain. The Doctor Who I fell in love with had intriguing characters and great sci-fi concepts, but also allegories and concerns that reflected issues and things in the real world. Be it the educational remit of the early days, or something like, they're going to destroy capitalism, let's critique how bad capitalism is in stories like, say, Sunmakers, Creature from the Pit, Oxygen, take your fucking pick. Or going back into history and portraying a historical event, and learning about that, and learning about tragedies and whatnot. Things that reflect the real world, that say something about anything going on there. So, this episode could have done those things. You know, like I said, Tecteun's machinations and wanting to abandon this universe for another one instead of saving it could be a parallel and allegory to Elon Musk, but the story doesn't do that. You could parallel the division with the Grand Serpent's manipulation of units to say something about shadowy government organizations and their entitled imperialist meddling, but the episode doesn't say anything about that either. No. What the episode is concerned about is, well, Chibnall, with this, has officially become the new Ian Levine. Because Ian Levine, famously in the 80s, considered Doctor Who the primary concern about Doctor Who stories to be telling stories about Doctor Who lore. Referencing this, referencing that, bringing back the old monsters, blah, 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 blah. I mean, even the Colin Baker era did have things to say about the world we live in. I mean, look at Vengeance on Varos, for instance. That says something about something and is quite a good story, but not this. Chibnall's Doctor Who is not concerned with saying anything about the world we live in. It's not concerned with resonating with any personal, lovely feelings of hope or inspiration or utopia or betterment or anything like that. Chibnall's Doctor Who is only concerned with being Doctor Who, expanding its lore, dropping all sorts of lore bombs to shake up that lore forever and ever. No feeling, no political reference, only pedantic reference to itself. Fuck that! Mike.
Fuck you, Chibnall.
But apart from that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you enjoy the play?
You made that joke already, but yeah, this is dire. Absolutely.
No, it's okay. It's just as original as Chibnall.
I have to make a joke. I'm sorry, just to lighten the mood.
I mean, Rain, what were you saying there about all the references to the past being? This is all shit we've done before, but worse.
Yeah.
This is a Doctor Who for the J.J. Abrams nostalgia age.
No!
Like, I mean, look at fucking Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker. Hell, and I'm sorry, look at the new fucking Ghostbuster movie that just came out. There's basically nothing but, do you remember Ghostbusters 1984? We remember it existed, and we're rewarding you for remembering it existed by reminding you that it existed. But we don't have anything to say about anything about the state of the world or this franchise, just reminding you the thing existed.
Yeah.
It's just endless fucking reference. You don't fucking need that. Tell me something about the world that we live in allegory and story. I don't need to be reminded of this shit.
It takes a lot.
I can just read TARDIS Wiki for that.
It takes a lot to break you. I know you. I've known you for many years now. I know it takes a lot to break you. The fact that this is doing this to you speaks volumes.
I was able to laugh at timeless children.
I'm almost tempted to say if you don't want to be part of the next 4 episodes, you don't have to be.
No, I don't want to leave you into this in the lurch, and I want to see where this shit show goes. But honestly,
I have to see how it resolves.
I am fucking emotionally checked out of this era right now.
I can tell.
Krista had the right idea quitting last week.
She may have done, yes.
Were it not for the fact that there are only 4 episodes of Chibnall left and RTD is coming on, God knows how that'll go. I mean, I've expressed the fear in that podcast we did when the announcement came. That could just be another, remember when I did the show before when it was good? We don't think Russell T Davies will do that, but the possibility is there. But, God fucking damn it. What happened to the show that we loved?
It's dead.
It is dead, and nostalgia has killed it. At this point, this is honestly like a bigger disappointment to me than the season 4 of Star Trek Enterprise. Michael appreciated that reference. I know maybe some other people will, but they took a show that I loved and shoved it right up his own ass to be about itself and reminding you, oh, look, it's this thing that you remember. And just completely fucked the show that I was enjoying and vibing with in the process. And famously on the blog, I did a thing a while back where I took a season 4 of Enterprise because most of the stories were referencing other things, like Wrath of Khan or Tribble episodes or Klingon bullshit, stuff like that. So what I did was I made an episode guide where I replaced Enterprise season 4 with all the episodes that it was inspired by, as a big fuck you to well, if you're just going to remind me that these episodes exist, why wouldn't I just load those up on a streaming service instead of your leftover trait?
Hmm.
And it's the same thing with Doctor Who. Like, you say, oh, it reminded you of Last of the Time Lords. It reminded you of Big Bang. Why the fuck wouldn't we just watch those good episodes instead of your new shit?
Exactly.
If that's all you're going to do is remind us that it existed.
That's the problem,
this
isn't
is
it?
legitimately a pet peeve for me. I'm sorry for ranting and getting performatively angry, maybe, but this shit legitimately upsets me. This is a terrible episode of television, and I do not like it very much.
So let's see what comes after it then.
Honestly.
Yeah, who cares at this point, honestly, but...
Who the fuck cares? Okay, fine. Oh, look! Oh, I made the Doctor be Bell and Vinder's father. I canonized Lung Barrow. I'm explaining unit dating. The Ronnie comes back. Who gives a shit?
The Ronnie comes back. Let's not say things we can't take back.
Fucking do it then, Chibnall. If you're gonna fucking do it, burn everything to the ground on your way out for RTD to deal with. Just do it!
Oh, God.
I would like to mention something fun, because I think we need this. So,
Please.
This is again about my friend Chris. As I said, she was watching all the previous things. And in the episode before this, we were talking about how Carvanista was coming back. And I was a little bit excited about that. Keeping our feelings about this episode out of it. So I mentioned to Chris, and isn't it great? Everybody's favorite doggo is back. And she's like, oh, K9 is coming back?
You taught her well.
Oh, I wish.
You taught her well.
Yes, I did. I am so sorry, Chris.
Don't be.
I would say Carvanista was everyone's second favourite doggo in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Can't wait till they kill him off next week.
Yeah. I still think it's going to be Yaz, but
Well, it might be both, but he's gonna die.
Yaz makes the most sense.
And I will not be happy about it, but...
There.
I mean, if Chibnall's gonna go full fucking Chibnall, he might as well, Oh.
Yeah.
But, have her confess her love to the Doctor first, because that's his LGBT representation.
Oh my god, no. God damn it, no.
That's how he does things on the show.
I know. I love that that's peaking the microphone.
Honestly, I do not give a shit. I'm just like, okay, fine, Chibnall. Go big or go home. Don't you half-ass this shit.
And then a unicorn turns up. Who cares at this point? But...
If you're gonna be this fucking up your own ass in continuity, do anything and everything. Go fucking big. Who gives a shit if you?
But next time, for real, Chapter 6, The Vanquishers. Now, my immediate problem with this is there is so much to resolve in an hour.
Again, it's the same problem that I said with Ascension of the Cybermen. He fucking put it off. He was...
Yep.
It's like, oh, keep watching. Something interesting might happen. Keep watching. Something interesting might happen. Final episode. Oh shit, something happens. I don't care. Bye. Thanks for watching.
And then a unicorn shows up.
Then the unicorn shows up. I don't care. Yeah. I got you to watch anyway, so I win. Bye.
But the trailer...
Can we just skip ahead to the RTD stuff? New stuff, please?
Is this you saying you want out?
No. More a hope that we won't have to slog through any
Because
more of this
I'm not
bullshit.
forcing you to stay if you don't wish to. I wouldn't do that to a friend.
I'm staying for... I feel obligated, and also I want to see where this fucking train wreck.
I have to see how it ends, I'm sorry.
Same.
I have to see how this at least ends.
It's
We'll
like, I
walk
don't
ba-
particularly want to see any more Chibnall's episodes, but I want to know where this
We're
ends.
gonna walk backwards into hell together holding hands.
It'll be like that scene from Toy Story 3, which I never actually saw.
Was that a drill tweet? Was that a drill tweet just then, Jerry?
Baby?
Walk backwards into hell, I get it now. God damn it.
Tell us more about next time, right?
Yeah, well, Kate's back. Swarm and Azure are back with their grand plan, whatever the hell that is. The fob watch opens. The Doctor disintegrates. Wait, what?
The Centaureans have taken over planet Earth because we have to take the potatoes seriously, guys.
That house that totally isn't Lumbarrow, but will turn out to be Lumbarrow, is here again.
Make loons canon.
I've got so many parallels to the Battle of Ranskorav Kolos and Timeless Children that's not making me comfortable, but
it's a Chibnall finale.
It's a Chibnall finale. God help us all.
Rain, where can you find us, lovely people recovering from this anguish?
If you so wish to, you can find us at Reviews Doctor on Twitter. You can find me at Rainiac the Maniac. You can find Freezing Inferno at Freezing Inferno, and please do cheer him up. He needs it. And Cat at Concave Usurper. Yeah, I think we all need it. Send kitten pictures.
Corgi pictures.
If you're listening to this, firstly, welcome for staying on this long. Secondly, send us pictures of cute animals.
Corgis, please. Corgi puppies.
Corgis, kittens.
I have a Ko-fi. You could send me money, and that'll make me feel better.
Yeah.
Don't actually. You don't have to. But if you do, I'd be very appreciative.
But you don't have to. But if you did,
PayPal.me/freezing. No.
You can find my Ko-fi on my Twitch page at twitch.tv/concave usurper.
I was getting to that, but yes. Where you sometimes stream video games.
I'm probably going to be doing it again soon.
We have just all mentally tapped out at this point, haven't we?
That might be something I'll be doing in the near future, but we'll talk about that next week if I live.
Oh, don't be so dramatic about that.
No, see, you have to live because you still owe me Holiday Star.
God damn it. I can't believe those pigeons are keeping me in this.
Join us next week when Frezno is cancelled forever.
Oh, God, no.
Join us next week where it won't matter because I'm going to make him do it.
Say goodnight, Rainiac.
Okay, so all that remains is to thank you, the audience, for listening to us talk, rant, cry, all of the above about, and then I said Orphan 55, the survivors of the Flux.
No,
just
Rain,
as a little reaction.
I know you two thought it was preachy, but you cannot say Orphan 55.
No, I didn't even mean to say it. It just nearly came out of my mouth accidentally. I'm sorry. But Survivors of the Flux. Thank you to Kat and to Jerry for sharing my pain with Survivors of the Flux. Jerry and Frezno and I are now off to rob a bank because the Doctor is now a woman.
Oh yeah! I'm gonna commit so many fucking crimes! Legal disclaimer, I'm not gonna commit any crimes.
We're mocking an MP.
That you know about.
We're mocking a British MP that said something ridiculously stupid.
Oh, hey,
also,
Kat.
I'm not a dude, but can I also commit crimes?
Yes. I mean, we need someone to drive the getaway car.
Excellent. Where Chibnall live?
I also will say, Kat, that it would really brighten our spirits for this Chibnall thing.
Oh yeah,
if we got another It would, but also Symphogear update certainly would do that.
Yeah, get on that for next week because you haven't done it again.
So join us next time for the Vanquishers.
Until then, bye for now.
We're not over yet. Stay tuned next week for my exciting proposal offer to Kat.
You get married
maybe
to
I'll
her?
actually remember to watch Symphogear for once.
You're going to get engaged to her? What?
No, not that kind of proposal.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, I would accept because free healthcare in Canada and no longer being in the U.S.
I mean, I've got a spare room.
Adopt me, please. Anything. I don't care.
Join
Get me out of here.
Join us next time for the back wishes. Until then, bye for now. Holy shit.